Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video, and I'm here doing another interview, and I'm here with Casey Brown. Casey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you, Axel. Nice to meet you. How's things with you?
I'm good, man, I'm good, and nice to meet you too. So, if I'm right in saying you're 23, you're a super welterweight, and you're 4-0, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Alright, great. Okay, and if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, the question which I always like to start off with is, who inspired you to get into boxing?
From being a kid, I don't know. It's like I always put it down to my dad. My dad always had like boxing on the telly, and always we had like the little old school, the little red bag mitts. We had them, and they always used to get chucked about, and we'd be messing about with them. So I always put it down to that.
So is that kind of like the reason in general why you wanted to step into the boxing gym?
Yeah. So before my dad actually let me go to training, he had like my dad used to work shifts, and he had emails on his old works account from about 18 months before he actually took me to the gym for me begging him to go down. So I've always had that bit about me wanting to go to boxing and be involved in the sport.
Definitely. And so you then went down the amateur route like majority of fighters do.
Yeah.
And so what happened in your first amateur fight, if you can remember?
So I had 5 skills bouts, and then my first proper decision bout I actually got beat against the lad that I then ended up doing a lot of training with a few years later. Kid went on like, a few national titles, boxed for England and that. We got beat my first amateur fight, but obviously look, we're here now at 23. I was 11 then. 23, still going. I had 103 bouts as an amateur, and we're now geared towards bout number 5 as a pro.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good amateur career then, with 103 bouts. And I was wondering, what would you say is your biggest achievement from your amateur career?
So biggest achievement was probably in my last amateur fight. Am I alright moving while we've got the camera on?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sweet. And winning this bad boy over here. So I won the Northern Area title.
Oh, right, okay.
Last amateur bout. So that takes pride of place in my room. Sits there pretty.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest achievement. And I used to play rugby as a kid as well. So having my 100th bout was a real special thing, and I actually got to have that at my old rugby club. So we had a show there. Just pure coincidence that we ended up as like we were having a show there, and it just happened to be my 100th fight. So it was sort of like a fairy tale thing for me, getting to have tied both in together on such a momentous occasion for me.
Definitely. And so then after them 100 and something fights, you then decided to turn pro. Why did you turn pro when you did?
So I always said that I wanted to turn pro at about 22, and I made my debut just over a month before my 22nd birthday. On the 23rd September last year. So but obviously I'd probably ended up at about 120 bouts if it hadn't been for COVID.
Wow.
And at the time when I signed with my manager Steve Woods, there was no sign of amateur boxing coming back. I was like, I'm not wasting what could be building up towards my prime years, not competing. So I was like, I need to turn over now, and it was about the time for me anyway. It was about the time I'd already said I wanted to turn over, so that's where we ended up.
Yeah, that's fair. And so you then went on the 4-0 run that you are currently on. And so what would you say has been your toughest fight so far?
Probably my last one really, with Jake Bray. Although he's, as we said on the circuit, he's a journeyman, but he's tough journeyman. And there was times where Jake tested me a bit, caught him with a few shots, just keeping me on my toes, keeping me thinking. But it brought out the best in me and brought out my best performance in a professional ring today. Definitely,
and it's good to have them early tough fights.
Yeah, definitely. And like my next opponent in 2 weeks' time is going to be a tough test and a big step up for me. So the test I need ready to build up towards the 50-50 fights.
Definitely. And so would you also say that last performance was your best performance, or would you say a prior performance was?
No, that was definitely my best performance without a shadow of a doubt. And I think the better the opponent that I boxed, like the better I perform on the night, because I've got that pressure on me, so to speak. And as an amateur, obviously, I was up at elite level from being a kid, so I was always in them 50-50 fights. And when the pressure was on me, I always performed better, and that's still the case now.
Definitely. And so I was also kind of wondering, in your personal opinion, what would you say is your best attribute?
I'm quite a naturally I'm a boxer. Like, so my ability to, read a situation and adapt in the ring gets me out of a lot of situations, a lot of difficult situations rather. So I'm able to adapt in there and, put on best performance and do what I need to do to get the wins.
Definitely. And so is this possibly, this fight coming up, your first 6-rounder?
Yeah, my first 6-rounder against what is actually a former Olympian.
Oh, wow, okay.
Sergey and Bobo, I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's a good step up for me, and it's a chance. It's a risk, but it's a calculated risk, and it's something that I'm willing to take, and I'm excited about taking the risk.
Definitely. And so you've got this fight coming up. You'll be in camp now, if I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
And so, have you done anything different to prepare for this camp because it is your first 6-rounder?
It's just little tweaks. So my coach Elliot Dillon, he just puts my training together, and I just do whatever the boss tells me to. It's little tweaks in the sparring and in the training, just doing a couple extra rounds and stuff like that. Nothing major, but like a little bit extra on the road work, couple miles or like a mile extra. So it's just putting them little bits in to build for them extra 6 minutes.
Definitely. And so you've been relatively active from what I've seen, and so I was kind of wondering, what is it like working with VIP Boxing, and how much have they helped you be active?
Oh, it's massive. VIP and stay with the team and the stable are massive, and they're so supportive, and they look after me. So it's all about getting me the right fights at the right time, and I think that's what he's doing very well for me. And he's getting me these little step ups. Each opponent that I've had has been a little step up, and this time, obviously, I'm stepping up to 6-rounders, and I'm getting a better opponent as well. So it's building me in the right direction at the right points. Not allow me to run before I can walk. But as me as a person, I be like, yeah, put me in a 50-50 fight on my debut. I'm not bothered. But Steve's like, no, come on, chill out.
Yeah,
We'll build you up, build your profile. We'll get you the right step up at the right time, and they've been great for me so far in my first year as a pro.
Great. And so they've been helping you be active, and I was wondering, are you trying to carry on being active this year, and are you maybe getting another fight before the end of the year?
Yeah, so there's some exciting stuff coming out for myself and a few of the other super welterweights that I signed with VIP. So after this fight, there's a few of us all stepping up to 6-rounders in this next month or so. After that, they're putting a few of us into a little 4-man competition. So we'll end up boxing each other. So like the semi-final and the final, semi-final over 6 rounds, and then a final over 8. And the winner of that will be looking at moving on towards titles, and that's the position I want to be in. Definitely. So we're looking at middle of next year, I could be boxing for a Central Area title. A little bit earlier than what in my head I was planning. But I'm not complaining about that. I'm happy with that, and I'm buzzing for it.
Yeah. So is it going to be somewhat of I don't know if you've seen the Sky Boxer series, or is it going to be similar to that?
A little bit, apart from where though they box on the same night, don't they? So it's 3-rounders. This is right. Final over 6 rounds, and then a final over 8 rounds. So it's final in November, December time, and then final in February. I think Steve was telling me the other day.
It's still definitely an interesting concept, and so you've got this fight coming up September 10th, and I was wondering, why should people come and watch you? What makes you different to everybody else?
I am one for those who love the boxing. I'm a purist boxer, but I can mix up a little bit when I need to. And if you want to see good boxing skills, being put on display, come and watch me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you what boxing really is. I'll show you how to hit and not get hit.
Definitely, and that's
Make it entertaining along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's two very important things that will be enticing the fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And so you're just at the start of your career now. You say you might be fighting for Central Area titles in the coming year, and so I was wondering, how far do you believe you can go in the sport?
When I was first went for my interview with the British Boxing Board, they ask you like what you want to achieve, and I was like, I want that British title outright. Anything after that is bonus, and I still stand by that. That Lonsdale belt is the best belt in boxing.
Yeah, it's a very prestigious belt.
Yeah, and I want it on my mantelpiece at home. It's simple.
Yeah, alright, and so I've got this next question, which is a bit of a fun question, but I always like to ask it. So you're in the super welterweight division at the moment. Obviously, this might not be happening, this fight might not happen for a long time, but if you could have any dream opponent of any big level or any level boxer, who would you choose?
Oh, I don't know. Not something I actually thought of. I can tell you like some of the kids that I've been in with and sparred with and stuff like that, and I know like the level. I'd love to be at the level that they're at. Like I've likes of Mason Cartwright, who's boxed with the British, JJ Metcalf, Liam Smith. I'd love to be able to get up to the level that they've been at, especially Beefy. Like up at a level, I'd love to be there and achieve the same as what they've achieved. So literally anyone that gets put in front of me, I'm happy to box. If someone's got the same goals as me, well, I want to achieve my goals. I'll box you and I'll achieve my goals.
Definitely. Alright, and so you spoke a little bit about Liam Beefy Smith, and he's obviously got his fight this weekend. Are you going to be watching that fight?
Yeah, definitely. Sat at home with the family watching that. He's always someone that I've watched for many a year now, but then like it was sort of a surreal moment really when I got to spar Beefy a few times. But good. He's a dangerous man.
Yeah.
But it was a good experience. Taught me a hell of a lot. A few years back when I got to sparring.
And so I'm sure your prediction will be that Liam will win.
Yeah, always.
Great. Okay. And so I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Just a big shout out to my sponsors, Real 5, Simplicity Physio and Danny's Tattoo. Big shout out to everyone that's bought tickets for my past fights and obviously my upcoming fight. Big thank you to my team at VIP and my coaching staff, Elliot Dillon, and my dad, Alan Brown, and my guy that does my strength and conditioning, Mark Banner. Just big shout out to all my team and big shout out to you as well for having me on.
Great. Well, yeah, very much appreciate you coming on, mate.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Okay, and I'm sure in a few years when you're fighting for them British belts, we can maybe come back and do a return interview.
100%, mate. No shadow of a doubt.
Great. Okay. Well, if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and thanks for watching.